Then you have other guys like Officer Payout. You can raise your hand. You have Officer Spencer. You have Yvette, right? And these are your proactive team. I'm going to talk about Diaz, Dr. Diaz, your proactive team. These guys go out there, and the officers are assigned by lobbies. So depending on the lobby that you stay in, these officers are uniquely assigned. These men and women here, they have a very unique purpose. They actually fall under the office of the chief. They all fall under the office of the chief. The chief wants to have direct oversight over these men and women because they can go out there and execute, obviously, the mission of the city. When complaints come in, they go to the council office, and you have Sergeant Terrell. He came in January. He's assigned over all these men and women here. Before, it used to be Dana Levine. You guys remember Dana Levine? Yeah. He got promoted to commander, so Terrell came from Midnight Patrol. So this is a different day shift work for him. He's working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So basically, these guys here, they're fully able to integrate themselves into the patrol element. Anytime of major issue, these guys can go out there. They're not your day-to-day responding to calls for service, but they can handle any special, unique task. You bring in a complaint and say, hey, there's narcotics in the neighborhood. Okay, no problem. These men and women here, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna address it, right? They're gonna, and if they need any type of resources, they're gonna go get those resources and in an effort to bring it back to the community. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to introduce them. Dorita Hall, she's gonna be retiring. Yeah, so she's gonna be retiring. So let's give her time.
Things that for some of you new faces, they're here every month. The police are here every month, and every month they give you an update exactly of where the crime is, right? They let you know what is going on. They let you know what season we're in. So, for example, when we get closer to the darker time and the time changes at 5 o'clock, they start letting you know that generally car thefts go up, that break-ins happen. They tell you about keeping your lights on and different things that you need to be aware of. And so every single month we get an update on the number of robberies, whatever kind of crime that we're dealing with, or whatever other issues that you need to be aware of. So if there is any questions that you might have, you always can find your answers right here in at Meet Me Monday. And if it's not the police that will be here, code enforcement is also here. Am I correct?
Yes.
Every single month, code enforcement comes with a report. And so anything that you have to ask, you can ask code enforcement any questions, any concerns, any issues that you have. Code enforcement is here every single month. So there are no surprises about almost anything. I'll be right with you in the back, okay? And so do you have any questions for them?
Yeah, I do. So, hi, how you doing? I live near Florida Memorial, and
that 158
yeah. So this is great. I'm so happy to see you all. My question is actually one of my concerns. It's no crime per se, but I'd like to see you just community policing in my area, just to see you visually. A car passed down every now and then, just the visibility. It could be patrolling, cycling on my street, but I'm between Florida Memorial and St. Thomas. But someone here said, oh, that's a quiet area, and that's fine. It might be. But I would appreciate seeing you all. So,
who lobby is Florida Memorial?
Can we write down your address?
Yeah, you can give it to them in private. They'll get with you. They'll come to you and they'll jot it down. And the officer, so what's very unique is every single location in the city, there's essentially one of these officers that's responsible for the area. So if you say Bunch Park, I'll say Spencer. Spencer's responsible for Bunch Park. So depending on where you live,
the officer for this part.
That's us, right? Right. So we have an officer that's assigned to each district. That's kind of like your liaison of any type of questions or concerns. So thank you for bringing that up. We'll make sure that we do some cycling indefinitely in your neighborhood.
thank you.
I have, yes, I was informed that Officer Tipo, is she still serving the sort of the Myrtle Grove area, Law B 24? Officer Sandler, somebody else now?
So all these officers here, and what we're going to do on the police department website, just so you know, what we're going to do is we're going to have a map of the city, and that's what we're working on now. There'll be a map on the city on the police department website. and when you click on the map of the city, it's gonna give you your community officers
Good.
information, depending on where you stay. So if you say 158 and 42, it's gonna guide you to that officer that's within that area. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring policing to you. Just like the resident said, yeah, it's just because there's no crime in the area, but we still want an active police presence in the neighborhood.
I just want to give kudos to Officer Hall because she patrols my neighborhood and she is very attentive. Who's going to take her
We're gonna redistribute the lobbies. We've lost some folks due to promotion and things like that. So we're going to kind of redesign the lobbies a little bit. And then at some point, we'll come back to the meeting, and then these officers, they'll give you their business card with their lobby, and in the back, they'll kind of have like a 5x7 card of their geographical area, so you guys can know what officer serves that lobby.
Excuse me, I don't know, I know that you remember.
We can't see it, get you. Okay, well, he'll get you. Okay, go ahead and finish.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah.
The young lady here, how she's saying about the visual in your area. I was wondering if they're contemplating like having the officer coffee with the cop sort of thing on a more regular basis like they used to, because that was very nice. Now, I didn't too like going to the McDonald's thing. I enjoyed it when they put that tent out in an area and people would pass by and they would stop and what's going on, and that kind of personal thing. I'm just saying, that was better.
So somebody take notes?
Yes.
All right, so we'll go ahead and bring the mobile coffee with a cop. We'll go ahead and bring back that to you all. The thing is with the coffee with a cop, what we noticed is that we were not getting a lot of participation from residents. And we advertise it, and we would get more staff than residents.
Put it in the
And
park.
so we tried to put it on a Saturday when everyone is off. We still weren't getting it. So we're just trying to figure out, like we even went knocking on doors to tell the people, hey, come out. And what we get from the residents is, oh, we'll try, but we work and we do this. So, the city has 113,000 people. We don't want the same 7 or 10 residents. We want to reach out to everybody and make sure that they benefit from Coffee with a Cop. Because you guys know how to get access to your government. The rest of them don't. And those are the people that we want to reach out to, because those are also voices in our community as well. And so, but we will definitely do that to increase our efforts to bring Coffee with a Cop to your area. Go ahead.
Is there an anonymous number that you can call for criminal activity in the area? Because some people do not, they are afraid of the police and they'd rather call anonymous.
Yes.
Because they don't trust.
Is that Crime Stoppers?
Could you give me the
What's the
number?
number of Crime Stoppers?
471 crime.
Yeah. Yeah, so 305-471-TIPS. All right, that's the number of Crime Stoppers. You can go ahead, you can report any type of anonymous crime or complaint, and then it gets forwarded. Remember, when you go to Crime Stoppers, don't just say narcotic sales, my block 158th Street. You got to give a little bit more. Time of the day, when is it occurring? Is it a specific house? What's happening, right? If they're speeding, what time of the day it's happening, make a model of a car, because if you give them vague information, they're going to give you a vague investigation. So if you want them to give you because they'll just close it out. And then when it comes to me and it says something very vague like that, I tell them to close it out. Because there's just no way I can put a police officer there 24/7, 7 days a week to try to find out if any type of illegal activity is going on without more detail. Yes, ma'am.
Do you report Crime Stoppers with code enforcement as well, where people have apartments in the back of their house and boats and trailers?
Well, that's
We differ when it comes to anonymous complaints. We do not do anonymous complaints.
Go through your.
So who you report that to?
What, anonymous complaints? What?
Anonymous.
We don't do anonymous complaints. Now, there is a way that if you report, say for instance, in this type of setting, if you give us some complaints on, you can write it down and give it to Councilwoman Katrina Wilson. She can put it on a list, and she can turn that in as an email or something like that. You can get away with it like that. But if you're gonna give me something, I need your name, I need a phone number. You call our office, you're gonna give a name, you're gonna give a phone number. You send an email, you gotta leave, you cannot
Makes people not want to give, right?
the laws have changed. That's the code enforcement. We're not.
Does code enforcement go around the city's apartments in the back of people's houses?
We do not go on to private properties. We can go into your yard. If you want us to see something that's in the back of the yard, you see it, you can let us into your yard. You can see it into the neighbor's yard.
You can call Miami Gardens non-emergency line. 911 obviously for emergencies, right? And then if you have our non-emergency line, you can call, and then our call taker on the non-emergency line will go ahead and get you whatever information that you need or jot down the complaint that you have, and it'll be forwarded to an appropriate investigator. Yes, ma'am.
So in terms of coffee with the cop, why don't you guys go to the parks? Because if you're going to McDonald's, everyone may not want to go to McDonald's. And if you're at the park, say Betty T is a perfect park. Tons of people are at Betty T or maybe Bunch Park or something where it's a park. It's a local area. You have a lot of houses around. You tell people it's there. And it's more likely they may come over, walk over. They don't have to go too far. Because if you don't have a car or something, you may not want to go to McDonald's. Maybe you have something against McDonald's. I'm just giving 2 cents there in terms of that.
No, understood. McDonald's, Starbucks, they usually are the ones that sponsor, obviously, the coffee. So, but we can definitely,
Bring the coffee
they
to
would not mind sponsoring the coffee for us, and we can take it outside. So we're already gonna have a plan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a random area, and we're gonna we'll put it out on our social media, and then we'll knock on 20, 30 doors in the area, and hopefully we can get residents to come out. Our goal is to reach the residents that don't sign in on these lists. And that's kind of, because you guys know how to access your government. You guys come to these meetings so you guys know what government is. We want those people that just may not be familiar, right? And those are the people that we want to target to get them more involved in the process.
So can I say something? I live in Leslie's Estate Phase 3. On the 3rd of May, we'll be having a day with the residents on 203 Lane. There's a building over there, a park over there, like a park.
May what? May 3rd, isn't that Formula 1? Yes, we're pre-dedicated to Formula 1 that weekend. We're dedicated to Formula 1 that weekend. Yes, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is going to be Formula 1, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So when we have the other meeting?
Yes. I don't want to hold up the meeting because obviously there's other important things. If you guys have any questions for us, we're going to still be outside. We won't stay in. We'll be outside, and you guys can come outside when the meeting's over or what have you to come. But I just want to really introduce Sergeant Richard Sherrill and give him the floor so he can introduce himself, give you a little bit about himself, so you guys can attach your new face to the community affairs section. All right.
My question is, on the first week, Tuesday or Thursday, y'all have night out in August. We see the same people there. You can't get the resident to even come to that, and y'all post it on the website, or y'all website, people don't come out. And y'all have something big out there for the whole community to come to.
Yeah. What we've been doing is we've just been knocking on doors and just hoping that we can get some type of community participation. We've been starting from new raffles. Walmart has donated, different things to the police department in an effort to do a raffle. So we go knock on the door, we give them a ticket to get them to participate, and we tell them that your number will be called.
Never seen you in my neighborhood, and I live right there. Never.
All right. Sergeant Sherrill's gonna introduce himself.
Yeah, I know. Sergeant Richard Sherrill. I just took over the unit in January. I came from patrol while working at midnights. Before that, I was in violent crimes as a sergeant up there. I spent 15 years here in Miami Gardens thus far. I came down from Virginia, not from Florida. I did 20 years in Newport News, Virginia. then transferred down here at the top. So I have a group of guys here, 17 of us. Yeah, about 17 of us, and any complaints that you have, send it to us. If none of my can't be from the office, send it to me, and I'll address it.
Contact,
With you, my,
contact information.
I have cards outside. I don't know if I have, not for everybody, but you see me outside, I can give you a business card. That way you can reach me at any place. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say welcome. And you have a great group of people that you're working with, so you
I know.
don't always get concerns and problems. We give the kudos where they are deserving, and these people deserve it. That's right.
I have a question. I have a couple of questions, but one question, you say that you go around and you knock on the door. Okay, which one of the officers handle 29th Avenue and 157th Street? But I don't get any numbers.
Okay, so when we say we go around, depending on, so we have not done a copy with a cop in the Bunch Park area. We have not done a copy with a cop in the Bunch Park area.
All right.
Yeah, 29 and 157. What we'll probably do is our next copy with a cop, we'll make it in the Bunch Park area.
Okay.
That's, and so that'll come out, look for within the next 30 to 60 days. We're gonna get with the chief's schedule, and then we'll try to coordinate a copy with a cop, get with our community partners, and we'll do that. And if you want, we can connect with you. You can be like one of our ambassadors, reaching out to your neighbors and able to participate.
Okay, all right, great.
Okay.
Just a suggestion, can you guys do cones with a cop, because we live in Florida, everybody doesn't drink coffee, I would like to get my kiddos outside, so maybe if you can pull up with cones and coffee. I did
That's a good
that
idea.
this weekend, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. We're gonna get your information when we're done. Okay?
The coffee with the cop area for Myrtle Grove, which area did you cover when y'all knocked on doors?
I mean, man, I don't know.
I live right there, and I ain't nobody live right down the street. I ain't hear a doorbell, a ring bell, nothing. And I live right down the street.
That, but like, what perimeter was it?
I mean,
37th?
Yeah, I would have to go back and tell you, like, on our list, but I know we've done it, because I personally went out and I've done it.
I'm just curious, because I know I haven't seen anybody walking around in my area, and I'm in Myrtle Grove. That's why I asked.
All right, well, we're gonna start off with Bunch Park. So we're gonna change the way we do it. We're gonna start off with Bunch Park, and then after that, we'll kind of see if we can, I think we're limited to like 4 copies a year. 4, one every quarter. All right, so we're gonna try to strategically place it in areas where we can get community participation. So if we do it in Bunch Park, we live in Myrtle Grove, come to Bunch Park. You know, come see your neighbors on that side of town.
Will you be sending out like a flyer to let people know that?
The best I can do, because those things cost. The best.
Social media.
We can put it like staff events. If you guys follow the city's page, staff events, they'll be able to push it out to you. And then obviously we'll put it on our all social media page. And you know, since the media likes to report a lot, we can give it to them and see if they want to push that out as well.
Amen.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am.
You were talking about it costs a lot. The city has 114,000 that you calculated, right? When it's time for election, our mailboxes get bombarded. Oh, yeah. So, and I'm not saying anything against any councilman. You all know how to reach us when it's time to vote. Why can't?
Ma'am, I'm the police officer. I can't answer that. So,
I'm not asking you to answer that.
But you can't. Please don't go there because I can't answer that.
I'm not asking you to answer me.
But you're saying that the council. We're here to provide public service to the community. So if you have another question, I'll be more than glad. But I won't go there.
No, but that's part of it, though.
Anybody else?
That's part of it.
You call it on 30th Avenue, 153rd Terrace. What area is that, Bunch Park?
38 and 153.
No, 30.
Oh, 301.
Avenue and 153 Terrace.
301
Bunch Park.
Okay. So that'll be the area where we do it. So we'll probably try to do it within one of those neighborhoods or Bunch Park. All right. So we'll go ahead and work on that. 2 more questions and that's it.
From 196 and between 37 and 32nd Avenue. What's your name? Officer Diaz. Officer Diaz, can you
Contact.
tell me your card? Sure. Thanks.
Can you give me your non-emergency number to my doctor?
305-474-MGP. 6477. Okay.
Give the number, give the number.
Yeah. 474-6473.
Come again, please. Make sure you press 305-474-6473.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna be in the lobby. These guys will be in the lobby as well. So Rita and people are gonna stay behind because they're gonna give you your crime report real quick, and then the rest of the guys will be in the lobby if you guys have any questions you guys need to ask us. But thank you.
Thank
Yeah. They absolutely can do graphics. That's a part of policing, is advertising to the community. So I don't know why he said he couldn't do that, because he absolutely could. Ms. Lynette.
Code enforcement. I just want to give you our updated totals for our RVs, because that is something that we are getting a lot of complaints on, so I'm going to address that. If there are any other issues, I'm willing to take that information as a complaint. You can give that to Councilwoman Wilson. Her aide will take care of it. He knows how to reach me via email, and we can get that information. Okay, so right now, as of today, we have a total of 798 RVs. We have 314 that have complied. We've written 443 civil violation notices, which is $500 per day. We've written 217 warning notices, and we have a total of 5 repeats. And that means that after they've received a citation and have gone to court, they've done it again. Wow. Then we have actually 2 properties that were on the old, before we started our project. We have an actual project for the RV. We started an actual project when we started getting a lot of RV issues. But we have a couple of properties that before we would start the project, they already had permits. So, and then we have a total of 54 properties that have been denied. And then we have a total of 55 properties that are permitted. So, and then we have 3 liens. So that means that we have a lot of properties that have citations that are growing and that are currently we are taking cases, and I see a lot of faces I see in court a lot, that know that we are taking cases monthly to court, placing liens, unfortunately, on properties for the RVs. Because if it's over a certain weight and length, they cannot be permitted. And that's just how it is. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
What about boats?
Boats can be permitted if it's a certain length. However, through planning and zoning, they have their requirements. They have to be on paved surfaces. They have to be a certain length. You have to have the title. Even with your RV, any type of license, to get a license or permit for your commercial or recreational vehicle, it has to be registered to the property. And that person has to be living at that property. So you can get a permit, and that's through planning and zoning. I don't have the fee amounts. Planning and zoning handles their fee. However, I handle the fine amount. All commercial vehicles is $500 per day. The actual fee is much cheaper than the fine. I can tell you that. Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain what you say you put a lien?
So when we place a lien on a property, that means that the fine is growing. It means that a fine is growing because they did not come into compliance, or compliance is two things. Compliance could be that they say they removed the RV, but they never paid the fine. Even if you remove the RV, but you didn't pay the fine, we still place that lien on your property, on the house. If you did not remove the RV, and you, of course, you can't pay the fine if you didn't remove the RV, so that fine amount continues to grow on your property until, unfortunately, you die, until someone tries to, someone tries to sell it, and then of course, then you're gonna have to satisfy that lien, you're gonna have to, satisfy, come into compliance. You can't, in other words, you can't do anything with that property until you pay that lien, come into compliance. You can't do it, you can't get a loan on your property, you can't do none of those things.
So you can't sell the property?
You cannot sell the property in Miami Gardens until you satisfy that, yes. Right. Yes,
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
My name is Melton Mustafa. I wanted to ask a question. I just recently had a gentleman come by my parents' place. They passed, so the house was, I guess maybe like you were saying, disrepair. The last couple of months I've been fixing it up. I had a gentleman come by and he wrote up a whole bunch of codes. What I would like to see possibly is a little bit more care and understanding. I mean, like if I'm literally physically every week, fixing things and things like that, it would seem like a little bit more care and understanding would be, adhered to, hopefully. I felt really, really bad to, have to be dealing with my parents passing and me knowing that every day I'm in the yard cleaning up stuff, fixing things, painting the house or whatever, and then I get this whole laundry list of codes. And then when I asked him about the codes, he said, well, you can't have rocks on your swell because it's grass under it. And I did speak to him and I said it's never been grass in there. I'm 50 and it's never been grass there. It's the approach to the driveway. And I was like, did you just guess that it was rocks or whatever? But it was no care. And I would like, a little bit more understanding and compassion with that. And also I asked a question about the trees. I don't know if the baby is allergic to the trees or whatever, but there were 2 trees planted in front of my parents' house that I think the baby is allergic, and I tried to find out information about what can I do about those trees? Can they be removed or whatever? And it was really, really difficult finding that information. And I also asked about, when the trees are overgrown, what happened? The reason I'm saying this is when I called down, it was very difficult to get information. The trees are overgrown. They've messed the pipes up. And when I did finally get someone on the phone, they was like, well, you just have to figure it out, and that's your responsibility. So I just wanted to, bring that up. I don't know if you can help me out or provide any type of guidance with that, but I grew up here. I went to Carol City. I learned how to play music there, and I've done really well for myself. But the customer care, it wasn't that good for me. It was quite hurtful to me. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I can give you some information. I can let you know as far as if you're talking about trees that's on the public right of way, if the city plant them, you can reach out to our Public Works Department. They can probably give you some assistance as far as assisting you. If there's something that they planted, I can give you more information. We can talk.
Okay.
In my business card, we can talk concerning that. And I can have you reach out to Public Works so we can see if that's something that they can assist you with.
Okay.
They may can assist you with that. We can work that out with that. Now, if there are overgrown trees that are on your property.
No, it's on the swell.
On the swell.
Right.
Okay, so overgrown trees on it. Now, there are times if they're, it depends. I mean, you believe that they were planted by someone else other than trees that were planted by. Because you said you've been there 50 years, you don't believe?
No, I'm pretty sure it's planted by the city.
You believe? Okay.
Yeah.
I do know at one time that they were saying that they were maintaining it, but that's something we'll have to discuss. We can find out what Public Works, how they will handle that, and we can discuss that. As far as, the same thing with the rocks. It's a situation with the ground being, that affects the grass from growing, having the rocks and things like that. So that's an issue. Now, as far as him knowing a person, knowing whether or not that, that what you were going through, I mean, he may not know that, but I do know that they go throughout the entire area, and whatever they see, they're responsible for addressing. So it's not personally at you. I want you to know that. They are going to every location and addressing violations that they see. But I definitely understand what you're saying as far as showing care and empathy.
Right.
That's very important.
And one more thing, with the grass on the swell, I live in the flood zone. It floods really, really bad. So we'll plant grass and then the still water just sit there, and it's just,
Yeah, Public Works, that would be something that Public Works will have to deal with you with that. So,
Okay.
and again, I'll give you some information concerning that.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love you.
Okay, one more question.
Easement area.
So, my neighbor, he has a wooden fence this on the side of the telegraph pole, and he has one that's close to 32nd Avenue. I had to change my fence because when LP&L, anybody come in, they pull my fence out. So I put a 6 foot up this time to put the gate in the middle. So the other day, the Comcast had to come in, but they had to come ask me, so they truck through my yard because the man has the alley blocked up with a bunch of trees in the middle, with a bunch of snakes.
You have to give the location because it has to, that's for everyone. Your easement has to remain open. It has to be free flowing, and that's for cops, that's for utilities, all of that. You cannot block your easement area. You have to, and that's for your neighbors. Anyone should be able to walk through that area, so you cannot block it. If you have a gate, you have to have easy access. You cannot lock it, you can't put a lock on it unless you're going to give everyone a key. That's how that works. So yeah, so if you give me that information, we can, I can go over to that area and I can address it. I will have to write, I don't give warning notice for that. I just write, okay, so.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, I want you to wrap them up. I'll give you Mrs. Hughes, you'll have the last one, and then we're gonna, have the sergeant.
Thank you.
No, you finish yours and then you're done.
I'm sorry. Also, I don't know what to do. I've been like 50 years now, 40 my son's 40. And I had the exterminator come by, check my attic, turn my foot up, and he looked up there and he brought a street sign down that says 34th Avenue and 1st Street. So what do I do with that sign?
From your attic? It was in your attic?
Yeah. And I don't know how I had my attic insulated, and I said, what? I took a picture of it, and he said, it says 34th Avenue.
Wow.
Okay, so Mrs. Hughes, has the last question. Nicole?
When you were speaking of the zoning as far as the privacy fence or whatever, it's not supposed to block the easement. Now, I just got finished dealing with planning and zoning. And where I'm at, no one can go straight to the easement because a privacy fence is there. And they said because of the, I don't want to pronounce the word incorrect, encroachment or something.
Encroachment.
They're allowing that fence to stay there. And you just not straight shot to that easement.
Crazy.
And so they, okay, so they get like a variance. I mean, if they receive the variance and they pay, there's fees, they receive a variance and they have paperwork on that. Is planning and zoning said something?
Right.
Okay, so there are variances that people pay a lot of money to do certain things. That's something. That's a whole nother
story.
Yeah, that's something completely.
Okay, just to finish that up, where she said that owners, they did sign some type of document.
Yes.
If FPNL or somebody has to go through there, they can tear the whole thing down.
Right, they're supposed to get access. They're supposed to get access. Right. Yeah, they're not supposed to have to tear down. They're supposed to be able to get access.
All right, so that was the last question for, who got spoken?
Jennifer
You're gonna come on up and do your report.
from Code.
So she's from police, and if you have any questions?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm Marcia Hall, for those who don't know me. This is my colleague, Officer Tebow. Once I retire in 2 days, you'll be seeing her in 2 days. Coming to your meeting. Yes.
So, I don't know if they're crying, or they're mad.
So what we do when we come every month, we give the 2-week comparison, the citywide comparison. So this comparison is from March 10th to the 23rd. It's comparison to March 24th through April 6th. This is the latest available report. So in the area of criminal homicide, there were no changes in rape, no changes in robbery. We have a decline in burglary, residential burglaries as well as vehicle burglaries. So the main crimes that tend to spike during different seasons of the year, they're all in the negative during this time period. So the advice that I would give you all from today moving forward, which you know already, I'm gonna say some stuff that I said already. The decrease that we've been having as far as the vehicle burglaries, I think, well, if we finally get to what I say, locking cars. Unfortunately, sometimes we get out and we're trying to rush in public before we go to our next job or before we have to go pick up the grandkids, and we leave our cars open. So again, just triple check that you're locking your vehicle doors. Make sure your windows are all the way up. You wouldn't believe, I still go to Publix, so right here on 199 2nd Avenue, and I can walk by and open doors because they're unlocked. Windows are partially open. I know it's summertime coming around, it's hot, but keep that windows up. That's what you have AC for, you know. And that's mainly all I have for now. I just want to say thank you for all that. Show me love for my time here. I'm going to miss you guys, but you guys are in great hands. We have a great team of people that will be here to assist you guys. This is almost 35 years for me, so it's just time to change the chapter.
35 years. That's great.
Mr. Cole? Yes, Mr. Cole.
Congratulations. I wish you all the best for the future. But I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Who's going to take your place with the color guard? Because you're such a neat transfer.
Well, you know when it comes to honor guard now. No, nobody can do that. No. They're actually going to be having interviews soon to recruit more people.
Okay.
You know, so we need some more strong people in our guard. But I thank you for that compliment. I've been doing it my entire career.
You have been developed your action and performance.
Yes. Any other questions, concerns? If not, I'm glad I'm out of here. Thank you. Okay, all right. Don't think I'm going to fuck house for me. You know I know how to find you.
Yes, you do. Okay, and I won't be high. All right, so.
I'm sorry, one other thing. Sergeant Sherrill, that's up this card here and also pay out. So those that need a card, help yourself right here, okay?